Well, for me, law enforcement is a job where every day you serve a purpose. And so, coming from a very strong Christian background, coming from a mother and father that, always said you have to do the right thing in life. So, you start to build on that. So, law enforcement was a career that it gave me an opportunity, and it has given me an opportunity to have an impact on so many people's lives in different communities. As well as, I always say, it helped me grow up because you see things early on and often as a law enforcement officer. I started when I was 21 years old. So I kind of grew up behind the badge. And it taught me, hey, buddy, you got to grow up a little faster. You have to make more responsible decisions each and every point of your life. So yeah, you're off work, but you still have to be responsible because this society, this community, it does hold you to a higher level of morality, of good decision. It holds you to it. Okay, so and it's not going to change. So if you're in it, you plan on staying in it. Okay, this is what it's about. And law enforcement, it has given me that. I've enjoyed that. Just helping people, and it's not always just saving life, just talking. It has meant something special for me because, uh, being frank and honest with you, the history of law enforcement in our community, the African American community, it hasn't always been, and it's in some places, it's not the quote unquote best of relationships. Now, having grown up in Atlanta, I think we've sort of been on an island. I'll be honest with you. As a child, I didn't have, and I don't recall the negative experiences with law enforcement officers. I mean, we like the police, so I can't own that other communities have had, but I definitely respect it, and I definitely have always wanted to play my part in closing that barrier and say, hey man, all police officers, we're not trying to lock you up. So I remember police officers coming up to my high school all the time. We knew them by their names. It was actually a police officer that kind of inspired me to join the police department because of who he was. Just a great guy. So we didn't, so that I've taken on that role when it has been called, in our community. And there have been some tough times. Whenever there's a civil unrest, okay, you get asked those questions a lot from members in our community. And I take on those questions, and I understand both sides. So that kind of is a long way of coming to a short answer of why I joined. Just having a purpose and service in the community. I know that in a community, let's say you go to college, you get this job in another state. Okay, mom and dad is still here. Okay, let's say you send your child to school. You're at work. You can't be at all places at all times to protect and serve those who are as closest to you. And then there's those times when you're there, and I always say, people usually call the police when there's a situation where they can't control it. It's gotten kind of out of control. It doesn't have to be extreme, but it's a situation where they can't handle, maneuver the pieces that are there. And a police officer, that is what we do. Now, sometimes members in the policing community, they'll do jobs that are better than others. It varies, but at the end of the day, our primary responsibility is to be there. Sometimes when you're not there, uh, you're going out of town for a month. You call your local police department. Can you go by and check on my house? So a lot of us get the fancy alarm systems. Oh yeah, they can alert who? Yeah, they can see you an alert that someone may have someone's breaking into your house. But if you're not home, and even if you're there, who the next person? They're gonna call the police department. And we come and we serve that purpose. That is what we protect people, persons, and property. That's what we do. And so, to me, and I get it. Sometimes, police officers, we have to do that tough job of enforcing laws that people don't like. Okay, but for the most part, we're there to provide a service, help for you. And I like that piece about it. And I like the fact that officers do that. I just, I know I don't have the, I'm not trying to say that I have this rosy output of all police officers. No, I've been in this over 25 years. But I do say, in my policing experience and how, in my heart of hearts, I just feel like law enforcement officers care. I, I just don't come across law enforcement officers in these whole bunches that don't care. You may have that one, okay, and usually the system, society has a way of washing one or two out. But when I see police officers, sometimes whether their attitude or professionalism is not in the right place at that time, because they're human, we're human. We have bad days too now. Okay, we have the teenagers that won't listen. We have we fight with our spouses the same way. But trust me, police officers, I'm sincerely saying they care. They really sincerely care. And that's just my belief. I really feel that way.